so hitting the scene. Shit towns of Oz and foreigner dreams. Tales are crazy wild as the wind. Laughs and madness could make you spin. Shit towns rolling forward as king. Podcast chaos, it's a wild thing. Tuning folks for a hell of a ride. Crazy stories far and wide. From down under to the Sunshine State, mishaps and mayhem can't escape fate. Chuvalo and Croc Dundee, a wild ride on Podcast C. Shit towns rolling Florida's king. Podcast chaos, it's a wild thing. Tuning folks for a hell of a ride. Crazy stories far and wide. From down under to the Sunshine State, mishaps and mayhem can't escape fate. Chuvalo and Croc Dundee, a wild ride on Podcast C. Shit towns rolling Florida's king. Podcast chaos, it's a wild thing. Tuning folks for a hell of a ride. Crazy stories far and wide.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Craptown Florida Man Power Ranking Podcast. As always, I am NCR News Network, joined by my friend and co-host and all-around Field Marshal Extraordinaire, Anthony Caruso.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, NCR, and to wherever you are, ladies and gentlemen, right around the world. A pleasure to be here tonight. And NCR, I need to start off by asking you, have you got a cane toad lodged in your throat at the moment?
No, I do not have a cane toad lodged in my throat, even though it sounds like it. I am still recovering. I should be back maybe in a day or two, but we are also dealing with some other issues other than my voice. Our producer and tech support team, Dwayne, is currently locked up right now.
Oh,
He
God
got
damn it,
into
what
an
did he do
incident-
this time?
Well, apparently he was at the Tango Lounge last night, and DNR showed up because he may or may not have been selling illegal alligator skin boots and belts out the back of his truck again.
Oh, for
Allegedly.
God's sakes.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
So I'm going to have to run tech, and with my voice being jacked the fuck up as it is, we have two very special guests who decided to help us thanks to the kindness of their hearts. And well,
The
let's
large
start off by-
donation.
I got a large sack of nondescript bills marked Vestal Virgins as a
Yes,
donation.
I can confirm that both Pope Phil and Jim from Really Cool News have joined us here tonight, and I can confirm that they have been paid in 1 million Indonesian rupiah.
And,
Is that
and
like-
if I
That's
can,
right, folks.
and if I can figure out how to convert that to American money, I will.
Yeah, so prepare for the ratings to go like down on this show since we have that impact on our own show. Anytime we're together, the ratings go down. So
Oh dear.
Well, here's the thing. We don't give a fuck about ratings. We're just here to have
Yeah.
a good time, share stories about the craziness that is the Florida Man and the Shit Towns of Australia. But let's not sell your guys short. And we have Pope Phil II, the man, the myth, the legend, the papal Roddy champion from Vatican West.
Yes. Are
And
you
we
ready
have-
to rumble?
And we have Jim Finch, the best damn YouTube reporter out there who can find dirt and stories on any fucking frauditor out there.
if their names are Floyd Wallace and Chile de Castro.
Well, that's not nothing new. But since Pope Phil is here, I think it's appropriate that he actually sponsored this episode yet again with his fine delicatessa. So let's
Oh,
take a
yes.
look at
Holy
that ad.
smokes. Yes.
Let's take a look at that ad, folks.
Get the very best in cooked and cured meats with Holy Smoke Barbecue. Come and join our residential Pope and the Papal Rotti as they serve up a godly spread of ribs, breasts, pork sword kebabs, and rumps from around the world. Whether it is glazed in their very own signature water to wine sauce or treated from the Holy Smoker itself, You are guaranteed to have an out-of-body experience as you bite down on meat sent from heaven. Holy Smoke Barbecue. We are never afraid to show off our meat. That's right.
Lovely. Yes. Yes. And
Every-
business has been booming since you've been running that ad. Thank you very much.
Oh yes. Now me and Anthony both agree. Every time we go there and every time we see the ad, this is the only thing that runs through our minds.
I know I shouldn't eat thee, but sacrilegious.
You do drool a lot when you are in the restaurant. You know, we do get complaints from the staff about you drooling.
I can't help it. The rumps from around the world are mouth-watering.
And
Especially
let's face it,
Brazil.
and let's face it, the pork swords are incredible.
Yeah, is it wrong that it's 6 a.m. and we're recording this and I want a kebab right now?
No, it is not wrong. No,
it is
no,
not.
it is not wrong. No, it is not wrong.
Now, Anthony, you have the ceremonial coin.
I do, and I believe this will be your last contribution before you retire to the tech lounge.
Yes.
All right.
I am
What is
going to
the call?
go. I'm going heads this week.
The call is ahead, and it is ahead.
Jim, will you please kick off the the Florida man stories, I should say.
Florida man arrested for DUI after crashing into patrol vehicle. Sebring, Florida. A man faces a DUI charge after crashing into the back of a patrol vehicle in the early morning hours of Thanksgiving, according to the Sebring Police Department. Police said an officer was sitting in his marked SUV during a traffic stop along Kenilworth Boulevard around 1 a.m. Thursday when the car hit the patrol vehicle. The officer went into the hospital and has since been released, investigators said. So someone out drunk Thanksgiving night smashed into a cop car.
How
Yes.
much
Yeah, that sounds
must
about
they-
right.
Ah, how much must they have consumed? Because normally after that much food, it takes a metric S ton of alcohol to get you drunk after that much food. So he must have consumed a fair bit.
Yeah, they're not releasing the BAC or anything, which you can find on our daily Drunk Girl theaters that have morphed into whatever we're playing, 3 p.m.s and 8 p.m.s every other day. Yeah,
Cha-ching!
yeah, they didn't release a BAC or say anything else other than the driver was arrested and he was under the influence. We are very aware that this outcome could have been very different for Officer Earl and his family. The holidays are no time to lose a loved one to drunk driving, a
Absolutely.
Sebring police said in a social media post.
Yeah, absolutely. We do not condone any sort of drink driving in any sort of capacity. So, moving on now to the Sht Towns of Australia, and we go off for our number 10, ladies and gentlemen, and it is Port Pirie, South Australia, still shit. Moving on to number 9.
Port Pirie, never change.
Yeah, we heap on all of this shit about Port Pirie. You just need to remember that the sewerage doesn't work in that town. The local lake is constantly on fire. It is in the middle of nowhere. Port Pirie, we salute you for your consistency in everything that is shit. Moving on to number 9.
So it's the Cleveland of Australia.
Something like
Yes. Yes.
I have a wonderful Florida story for number 9. Florida man who lied about identity arrested after forgetting who he said he was. The Central Florida man lied about his identity, was arrested after forgetting who he said he was. The man was arrested by the Polk County Sheriff's Office, which, by the way, Polk County, Iowa, would arrest you for the exact same thing.
that.
On
Hang on.
November
Did you
19th,
say Polk County, Florida?
Iowa.
Yes.
This is Polk County, Florida, and I live in Polk County, Iowa. So we'll see. We'll see if Polk County, Iowa, is worse than Polk County, Florida, which I don't believe it is. The man was arrested on November 19th after he lied about his identity, then slipped up while trying to keep the line going, according to local law enforcement. 54-year-old Richard Hallmark of Winter Haven told the PCSO sergeant during a traffic stop that his name was actually Robert Hallmark. I mean, if you're going to lie about a name, why don't you pick one completely different from your own? Okay, let's just start with that. But okay.
Did it come with some very snappy greeting cards?
I don't know. It doesn't. Well, let's find out. Let's read on.
Mm.
When the sergeant discovered that the backpack in the car contained marijuana and methamphetamine, Richard claimed the backpack belonged to his brother, Robert.
Hold on. Remember, kids.
Drugs are bad. You shouldn't do drugs. If you do them, you're bad. Because drugs are bad, okay? It's a bad thing to do drugs.
Exactly.
Okay.
According to the Polk County Sheriff's Office, pro boxer George Foreman famously had 5 sons with the same name. And then there were brothers on the TV show Newhart, Larry and his brother Daryl, and his other brother Daryl, who wasn't out of the question when there could be brothers with the same name of Robert Hallmark. Regardless of that, Richard realized his error and soon admitted to the sergeant that his name was Richard, not Robert, and he'd lied about his name because he had a warrant out for his arrest. Of course he did. Of course he did. Richard's warrant. Now, guess what his warrant was for? A violation parole for conspiracy to deliver meth.
Of course it was.
Which was in the backpack in the car that belonged to his brother.
Would you
So,
like to see Mr. Hallmark? Because
yes, we would.
Oh, Sean.
this is Mr. Hallmark.
Now, what's
I
his
mean, look
brother
at
look
it.
like? Do you have a picture of the brother? Why don't you put up a picture of the brother?
We don't
That's
have
the brother.
The brother doesn't have a goatee.
Now wait. Now, NCR, take this picture down.
Okay.
Now bring the picture back up.
And
That's
there's
his brother
Robert.
right there.
That's Robert.
You see,
They're cousins,
notice-
identical cousins.
if you notice, Robert has 3 eyelash hairs that go up. It's very hard to distinguish.
Both of them look like they could be stunt doubles for Breaking Bad.
Oh, good lord!
God, get them a job. I reckon they'd be ready for TV. Moving on now to number 9 for the Sht Towns of Australia, and we head off to sunny Hervey Bay in Queensland. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Hervey Bay. That's in Queensland. A feral teen who has 110 priors, as in 110 previous convictions, steals a car and $43,000 worth of ciggies. Now, regrettably, this story is behind a paywall, and it is involving someone in Queensland under the age of 18, which means that names and photos have been suppressed. However, we can confirm that the kid stole an Audi S4 from Hervey Bay by sneaking into a home at night, took the keys, smashed into a store, robbed it of $43,000 worth of cigarettes. Coupled with the car, this is probably going to amount to robbery in excess of $100,000 in one night by a 16-year-old kid with 110 priors.
Well, he just probably wanted to look cool for his friends.
Go big or go home. That's my motto.
Yeah.
Way to go, kid. Way to go, kid.
But it's only an Audi S4. If you're going to
I
do
know,
that, do it properly. Get an R8.
That's what I was thinking. Or at least an S8. Come on.
You know, do it something. It's at least going to outrun the cops in. You know, jeez. And the $43,000 worth of cigarettes, well, now the difficult thing here is in Australia, they're all plain package cigarettes. They're not actually allowed to use their trademark colors. So you actually have to specifically read each box to work out what kind of cigarette it is as well. It's just,
Now, at the price of cigarettes, though, that's only like 20 packs, right?
yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's, jeez, can't smoke like you used to anymore, can you?
No,
That's why I vape.
No, yeah.
no, you can't.
Let's move on to number 8.
Number 8 is man uses chair to knock out roommate in dispute over feeding cats.
You know why I had to choose that one, right?
And Osceola, Florida, which is a regular on our Drunk Girl shows, because Mr. NCR, one of our co-hosts, is a regular from Osceola.
Actually, no. I'm not from Osceola.
Yes, you
Is it
are.
pronounced? No,
That's
I am
the
from.
story.
I used to live in Lakeland. Let's get it right, which is Polk County. Osceola is Marion County, and that's more of a coastal town.
And
Yes.
it's Osceola, Iowa.
And I
And-
thought
Spelled the same.
I thought it was just going to be. I thought it was going to be an opportunity for someone to break out a certain Jim Ross impersonation. By God, he's coming in with a steel chair.
Well, the night's still young.
Yeah, it's still very early here. I announced myself, which time the victim exited the residence. The victim was covered in blood and holding his head, the deputy reported. From the little I could understand, the victim advised his roommate, Jose, attacked him. The victim was then transferred to West Marion Hospital. So let's see. The guy says he didn't throw the first punch, but decided to teach him a lesson and started punching the victim repeatedly in the face over who should have fed the cat.
Yes.
Yeah. You know who feeds the cats in this house? Me. I feed the outside cats. I feed the inside cats. There's so many cats. And if I don't feed the cats, you know who complains about it? Any guesses?
The
The
cats.
cats?
Yes. Who, if I'm not up by 3 a.m., make sure I'm up by 3:05 a.m. Dead silence.
Jeez.
I've killed them all.
No, it's just cats have a.
We
lot
got to
of
get you
their
some
own.
automatic feeders.
I
That
know.
doesn't work. We have one, they broke it. Have you ever
Really?
seen 10 cats take apart something? It's hilarious.
Ouch.
I mean,
That gets expensive quickly.
But on to number 8.
Yeah, indeed. Number 8 for the Sht Towns of Australia, and we head off to Curry in New South Wales. And we got a live one here, folks. A drongo has been hospitalized with burns after allegedly causing an explosion while trying to steal copper cabling from a substation. NCR, we found another one.
Jesus fucking Christ, are you serious?
For those wondering what we're going on about, the last couple of weeks has been a bit of a trend in Australia of people attempting to steal copper.
That is happens a lot around here, usually because of meth addicts. But
Yeah.
Well, let's see if that's going to be involved with this. A man has been charged following an investigation into a break and enter at an electrical substation in Curry last month. The substation on Main Road in Hedden Greta was allegedly subject to a break and enter and steal offence with an amount of copper cabling stolen, resulting in an explosion at the
Ooh.
substation. An
Fiery.
explosion.
fiery.
Boom,
A
boom,
46
boom.
A 46-year-old allegedly told police he suffered the burns during a welding accident.
Oh, officer, no, officer. I was welding dingoes, I promise.
The man was airlifted to Royal North Shore for treatment of non-life-threatening burn injuries to his face and bodies. Investigations commenced, And following extensive inquiries, Hunter Valley detectives arrested the 46-year-old man at the Aberdare property around 9:30 a.m. He was taken to Cessnock Police Station where he was charged with 3 offences: sabotage, breaking into house, and breaking into house, etc., destroying property. He was refused bail. He was before appearing in Newcastle local court in late January. The substation is considered critical infrastructure. The cost and repair of the stolen cables is expected to cost in excess of $165,000.
Papers.
You know,
All
I would
that.
like to say, we should all be surprised, but as long as me and Anthony has been doing this, nothing surprises us as of late.
I mean, Pope, because of your holy position, you'll be very horrified to know that one of the stories we did have last week involved someone stealing copper plaques from headstones at a cemetery.
Oh, that is just, I'm sorry. There is no absolution for that. That's straight to hell.
It's straight to hell or the 13th level of a hotel.
You're right.
Well, there is absolution. It just, you have to go through a wood chipper first.
Woody's Woodchipper Emporium, never change. Let's move on now to number 7 for Florida Man.
This is actually number 7 of a Florida woman.
Ooh.
This is a bit spicy.
Are the Vestal Virgins in position and ready?
I think she's a virgin.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be involved in this story. A Broward mom allegedly drove an SUV into the child's father and woman he was having sex with. Of course. A Broward woman who allegedly drove her SUV into her child's father and a woman he was having sex with is facing battery charges, authorities said. Tanisha Monique Burgess, 37, of Deerfield Beach, was arrested by the Broward Sheriff's Office Tuesday on 2 counts of aggravated battery, jail records show. The alleged incident happened around 1 a.m. on September 22nd in North Beach Road in Dana Beach. According to the arrest report, a woman said she and a man were having sex on the passenger side of his car when a dark-colored Nissan SUV that was going about 20 miles an hour struck them and pinned them between the 2 vehicles. After the collision, the driver, later identified as Burgess, got out of the SUV and into a verbal altercation. And of course, the most appropriate of phrasing happens after this. Bitch, you know who the fuck I am. I am the child redacted name, baby's mama. And said before leaving in her SUV, according to the report. The woman said she was unaware of any relationship between the man and Burgess, and he said he never told her he was involved with anyone else. Of course he didn't. Police later spoke with the man who said Burgess, his child's mother, did hit them with their SUV and that he didn't want to be involved or pursue charges. The woman who was struck by the SUV suffered leg injuries and treated at 2 different hospitals for lacerations that required staples. Burgess was arrested, booked into jail. She later appeared in court where she received a $7,500 bond.
Now let's see Miss Burgess.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this. Is this going to be a Jerry Springer moment? Oh, it's a Jerry Springer moment.
She's an angel. I have a hard time believing the allegations are true. I hope she is found innocent.
I mean, she's got the face of an innocent woman.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
She's got the face of an innocent woman, but the driving skills of a bad black woman.
Can I ask? Is that a hairline or is that actually tattoos across her forehead?
I was trying to work that out. I was trying to work that out myself, actually.
That is hair. That is something that a lot of people do in Florida. I've seen they will glue down the front part of their hair to pull the hairline back further to give them like bangs or some kind of weird flow, but
Okay,
it just looks off.
it does. It does not look right. Yes.
It looks like a really bad tattoo.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It looks like someone was trying to draw a series of lines and the ink started running.
Now, looking at that adorable face, I can see why the man would not want to press charges.
Yes, completely understand. Completely
I
understand.
mean,
Please don't
the
hurt me.
loving was good.
Hold me, Phil. She's scaring me.
Scares me too. She scares me too.
Moving on now to story number 7 for Sht Towns of Australia, and we head off. Well, to I guess you could say one of my favourite towns in terms of complete and utter dipshittery. It is Penrith in New South Wales, or as we like to say in the rest of civilization, Penruff. First off, you've got a Gronk who's been charged after pissing on a brothel doorstep. I mean, that's pretty nasty.
That is just not right.
Yeah,
That is
that's
just not right.
But NCR, I think you're gonna have to. I think we may need Troy McClure's help for this next one because our feature story tonight.
Hold on. Troy, are you ready?
I'm Troy McClure, and I'll leave you with what we all came here to see: hardcore nudity.
Hey, I'll never say no to a batch of hardcore nudity going on here. Our feature story from Penruff: naked couple rooting in front of a shopping centre and in a public garden.
Oh my.
A man has been charged and a woman remains on the run after lewd behaviour at a major shopping centre. At 11:50 p.m. on Wednesday, November 20th, a 38-year-old Hazelbrook man was standing on the entrance of a major shopping centre in Penrith with an unknown female. Both the male and female removed all their clothes and began having intercourse near the front doors. The couple then walked to a nearby garden, fully naked, lay down in the garden bed, and then had intercourse again. It lasted for about 30 minutes before they put their clothes on and left. At 9 p.m. on the following Monday, the man entered the same shopping centre and entered a closed store within the centre by climbing over the security gate. The man stayed in the store for a short period of time before jumping back over the security gate. The man then entered a second store by climbing over the counter before leaving the shopping centre. At 7:10 a.m., the man was seen by police at the same shopping centre. He was eventually arrested and taken to Penrith Police Station, charged, and will appear in Penrith local court in January. The woman has not been identified.
Well, maybe he got into a patch of poison ivy.
Yeah, she was just rubbing some lotion on him.
Apparently, they didn't get a picture of her back tattoo. Otherwise, they'd be able to identify her.
Oh, this woman, I imagine, probably would have had a tramp stamp of the postcode that she was born in. But the fact they couldn't identify her is a little bit bewildering. But it does mean that there is some very, very horny woman on the run somewhere around Penrith. So keep a look out. If you see someone rooting around a local Westfield, call police straight away. Please do not approach.
What's the nearest? I'm trying to find flights. What's the nearest airport to there?
Oh, that's Sydney Airport.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it's still a good hour away. And it does require the wearing of a probably of a stab-proof vest as well. It's not a great place.
Yeah, and you've got to get through quarantine too, Phil, after that nasty rash from the last one.
Hasn't quite cleared up yet. It's almost there. Almost there. I'm almost done with that round of penicillin.
You know, Penrith is such a good place. It's such a worthwhile place to go and visit. It's nowhere near the coastline, so they created a fake beach there.
Of course they did.
You know, Penrith Beach. Go check it out, people. Great fun.
This ad was not brought to you by the Penrith Board of Commerce.
Did Does Penrith even have a Chamber of Commerce? I don't know. I have to go find out. I'm pretty sure they don't. Actually, no, they don't. Moving on now to story number 6 for Florida Man.
Number 6 for Florida Man is Florida dentist pleads guilty to sending over 100 threats to multiple people, including a election official. Miami.
Is she a frauditor by chance?
I don't think so. I don't recognize the name. A Florida dentist has admitted to sending over 100 violent threats to public figures, including an election official, over 5 years. Richard Glenn Cantwell, 61 of Tampa, pleaded guilty on Monday to 4 counts of interstate transmission of threats, according to the U.S. Department of Justice. As my own premiere started in the background, I'm suddenly hearing the YouTube porno music, and I'm like, where the hell is it coming from?
Really cool news, folks. Really cool news.
Really cool news. Yeah.
Like and subscribe to Really Cool News.
Really cool
Court
news.
documents reveal that from September 2019 to July 2020, Cantwell used Facebook, Instagram, email, and text messages, or your grandparents' favorite social media sites, to send threats to 3 victims, including an author, a religious leader, and a television personality. So, yeah. Don't trust dentists, people. Don't trust dentists.
So he threatened Trump, a television personality.
Maybe. But that brings up Mike Lano. Has anyone heard of Mike Lano?
I've not heard of Mike Lano.
You've never heard of Mike Lano, the wrestling dentist?
I have not.
I have
Mike
not.
Lano, the wrestling dentist. Okay, back in the day, I was the person in charge of AOL's wrestling area, and you came into contact with all sorts of people, including Mike Lano, the wrestling dentist, who was on, he didn't actually wrestle. He was just one of those hangers-on and photographers at ringside for many of the Southern California events. But he was most famously known for Percocet prescriptions. Lots and lots of Percocet prescriptions, allegedly. So if you needed your fix, you put up with the insanity of Mike Lano. I believe one time he moved to New Jersey without telling the person he was moving in with. And it took over a year to get rid of Mike Lano. Mike Lano's also in Mick Foley's book of doing free dental work for Mick's wife, and Mick and his wife taking him out to dinner or to lunch or breakfast the next day, where Mick's wife's teeth that Lano had just put back in promptly fell out over breakfast.
Nice.
So Mike Lano, wrestling dentist, let's hope he's not in your backyard looking in through your window right now, because he used to do that too.
Oh,
Lovely.
dear God. Is that and the first thing that comes to mind, obviously, with that in terms of the wrestling world, is that horrible storyline they did to Diamond Dallas Page when he first joined the WWE. It was just like, what are you thinking, honestly? Same thing.
The stalker, yeah.
Yeah. It's just
Yeah.
like, really?
Well, it's no different than when the WCW got Bret Hart.
Yeah.
His first thing's there. We're going to make you a special guest referee.
It's like no one had a
Yeah.
bad thing to say about DDP, honestly. Anyway.
No, DDP's a nice guy. I used to deal with DDP all the time because back in the day, we would give them free AOL accounts in exchange for running, basically, we call them channels now on Discord, but it was essentially a folder in the wrestling area where he would answer questions from fans in exchange for free AOL, which was a pretty big deal back then. Except for the Diamond Doll, aka Kimberly, his wife, wouldn't follow our instructions and use the local AOL lines when they were traveling. You know, if you used a local AOL line, it was free. If you used the 800 number, it was a $6 charge. I would frequently get calls from Paige screaming at me of bills over $400. And again, Paige, free AOL didn't mean free AOL. It just meant, your 1999 AOL bill was paid every month by us, not your $500 or $400 to $500 in charges on the 800 number.
Dear, oh dear.
So, how many times were you threatened to be hit with a diamond cutter?
He never actually threatened that, but yeah.
It was implied.
One time he called me up at 11 o'clock. He had been out drinking with Hall and Nash. It was 11 o'clock at night. There was nobody around. It was like a Thursday night. And this was right after they had switched over to WCW from WWF as the Outsiders. And they wanted me to call all my friends to get them into an AOL chat room so they can drunkenly talk to the fans at 11 o'clock at night.
That's going to end well.
Yeah, it didn't. I convinced them to go back to drinking because it would have been more fun. So,
and this has been Story Time with Jim Finch.
Where's Jim Cornette when you need him? Let's move on now to number 6 for Sht Towns of Australia, and we head off to Toowoomba in Queensland. I think you're going to have to get goofy out for this one because we've got a bus driver wanking in front of women and children in a shopping centre car park.
I'll fucking do it again.
Yep. And evidently they have been. Again,
that's just not right. That's just not right.
Again, unfortunately behind a paywall, but we can't give you a name this time. Lockie Valley bus driver Ashley Scott Florence caught red-handed masturbating in an exhibitory manner from his bus at a busy Toowoomba shopping centre car park after 2 women and a child confronted him.
Oh, Jesus.
There's only one thing that comes to mind hearing all that.
You fucking weirdo.
Using enough lube if his hand's red?
Oh, yeah, something like that. But yeah, what is it? What is it this week with Australians at the moment and engaging in sex acts outside shopping centres? What's going on here this week?
You guys are a horny bunch this week, is all I can say.
I know.
All I can say is someone we all know visited, and as she visited, she impacted the entire country. Y'all went insane.
God damn it, you're right.
You know, an American shows up and she's attractive, and now you're all a bunch of horny bastards.
Yep, that was her fault. It was her fault.
I bet you it flowed on from having the captain on the show last week.
That's
right. Probably.
Could have been.
Yeah, it could only have gotten hotter if Australia's greatest export appeared on the show.
I keep telling you, she's not going to come on here.
God damn it, we've got to try one day.
Wait,
You reach out to her.
Australia's greatest export? You got syphilis on the show?
No, Angela White.
Okay, same thing.
Oh,
I'll tell you what, you can convince her to come on. I will promote the fuck out of it.
Oh yeah, damn straight. Let's move on to number 5 for Florida Man.
Well, thankfully, a man is caught red-handed, but not in the way you think. He sold cocaine out of his jewelry store, according to that. A jewelry store owner is facing charges after a months-long investigation found he trafficked and sold cocaine out of his business, Hernando County Sheriff's Office said. According to the Sheriff's Office, Pedro Martinez, no.
You mean the pitcher?
No, not my beloved Red Sox, Pedro Martinez, was caught selling cocaine out of a jewelry store. Thankfully, it was not him. 54, owns 3J Jewelers off of Dalton Boulevard in Spring Hill. He's accused of using his storefront to sell drugs. It's hard to judge how many people were coming in here legitimately to sell things like their gold jewelry, and how many were doing it for the drugs and associated criminal activity. I don't think that's hard to say at all. I think everyone was going in there for the drugs and illegal activities. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Investigators said Martinez was pitching at least some of his customers at the 3J Jewelers on cocaine to the point where a tip came into the sheriff's office. Deputies then ran their own sting with undercover agents buying drugs there at least 4 times. The sheriff's office said drug trafficking, alongside all their other honest business, is over. Detectives executed a search warrant at the jewelry store on Friday, found cocaine, leading to the arrest of Martinez. You have to feel 100% comfortable, said Christine Moser, who works at Kim's Trim Salon, several doors down. This is a walk in a very big business. Sorry, I completely messed that up.
It's fine. It's fine. You're doing fine.
This is a walk in a very big walk-in business, and you don't know what's going on to walk in the door. So certainly you don't want to walk next door, especially when they're got what's going on. I was really tortured. The sheriff is alarmed at the sudden presence of cocaine, especially as the county remains in a fight against fentanyl and other addictive opioids. Cocaine has kind of waned off a little bit during the pill mill crisis and stuff, a deputy sheriff said, and now we're seeing a resurgence, and we've got to try to stop it and prevent that.
Well, as we all know, a great man once said, God rest his soul, Robin Williams, cocaine, the sign from God that you're earning too much money.
Yes.
Now, I am going to bring up Pedro Martinez's mugshot.
Does he belong on Grand Theft Auto?
Yes.
No.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Oh, God,
He's
yes, he
seen some
does.
shit.
He
He
belongs
is-
on
he's-
Grand Theft Auto.
He has seen some shit, people.
Hang on, which one does he go in? Which Grand
Look
Theft
at it.
Auto?
Look at it.
Well, definitely Vice City. I mean, jewelry and cocaine. Come on.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. Get Rosie on as his lawyer.
He was booked in on a $275,000 bond and was charged with the following: trafficking in cocaine, selling cocaine, possession of a scheduled with the schedule one
Scheduled A.
narcotic,
Yeah.
narcotic with the intent to sell a controlled substance, possession of a controlled substance with the intent to sell, unlawful use of a two-way communication device, and drug paraphernalia.
Yep, pretty
Now
standard.
here's what I want to know. Why did it take the sheriff's office 4 times to make the arrest? You know,
Listen, Phil, listen, man, listen. We had to make sure it was pure. I mean, they had to make sure it was pure.
now I could understand if they used Coke Dog as their drug dog, then it would take 4 times.
Did somebody say coke dog? Hello?
Were you involved in it? Were you involved in this in some way?
Involved? I don't have a drug trafficking network. Happy birthday to me.
He lost the evidence the first 3 times.
Yeah. I think that's why he's no longer on the police force now. We better move on now to number 5 for the Sht Towns of Australia. And we head off to a town that we haven't actually done a lot of before. And it is Armidale in New South Wales. A 12-year-old has been arrested after allegedly threatening a security guard with a knife. No, ladies and gentlemen, that's not a knife. This is a knife.
That's just a spoon.
Oh, all right. I see you played nice v Spoony before. A boy will face court after allegedly stealing a knife and threatening a security guard in the state's northwest yesterday. Around 3:45 p.m., police were called to a shopping centre in Beardy Street, Armidale, following reports of a person armed with a knife. On arrival, officers attached to New England Police District were told that a boy had allegedly threatened a security guard with a knife. At 8:40 a.m. the next day, police arrested the 12-year-old boy at a home in Armidale. He was charged with armed to intent to commit a serious indictable offence, affray, stalk, intimidate with intent to cause physical harm, 2 counts of that, and shoplifting. He was released on conditional bail to appear before a children's court on Monday in December. Short, sweet one, that one. But, if there's one thing we know there's been a problem in Queensland and in northern New South Wales, it's been the youth crime problem. It's been a youth crime issue for as God knows how long. And really, unfortunately, I have to be serious for a moment. They've got to do something about it because I'm quite honestly getting sick of this. Not as sick as our story last week about snakes on a motherfucking plane, but, it's getting pretty much up there now.
To be fair, I mean, you guys aren't beating your kids enough.
And to be fair, it's only been one time where we've had snakes on a motherfucking plane. But it'll happen again, I imagine. Let's move on to number 4 for Florida Man.
Number 4 for Florida Man is man allegedly stole over $200 worth of groceries, turned around and did it again 15 minutes later.
Oh, fucking do it again.
Lakeland, Florida. A man allegedly walked out of a grocery store with over $200 in unpaid goods, then turned around and walked back in. When he came out with a second cart full, police were already waiting. Police responded to a call of shoplifting in progress at a Publix. Okay, stop. As much as I love Rose, and Rose, my girlfriend and co-host over on our show, she works at Publix, and after being in Publix once in my life, I don't want to go back twice, let alone twice to shoplift in 15 minutes.
Whoa.
What's wrong with
Publix are
Publix?
scary places.
Publix.
No, they aren't.
Yes,
No, they
they
aren't.
are.
Publix is shopping where shopping is a pleasure, okay?
Uh-huh.
Yes. And Publix in Lakeland, Florida, okay? I should know. I live there. I've been to a lot of them. They have some very nice delis and bakeries, and they have that ball mass subs and TG sweet tea.
Uh-huh.
And in one Florida town, they have a very nice woman who works in a bakery.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She is the bright spot of all the Publix in Florida. The rest of them, raging hellholes. That's it.
I think Mr. George Jenkins would disagree, but
according to Publix employees, the police caught Sylvester with his second batch of unpaid groceries. They said Sylvester entered the store, filled his cart with groceries, and left without paying, prompting the 911 call. Then, while employees waited for the police, he allegedly walked back in and did it again. Publix workers said they attempted to talk to Sylvester to stop him, but he just ignored them and kept walking. Let's see, the first cart was filled with $206 worth of groceries, and the second was worth $243.92 worth of groceries.
Jeez. What was he trying to do? Feed a family of 4 for under $20 or something?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a genuine roughneck if I've ever seen one.
At least he should have, just gone to the deli and gotten like 20 Publix sandwiches. Those are the only bright spots at the hellhole known as Publix.
He
Besides the cakes at Roses. The cakes at Roses.
He looks like he's very upset about something.
Yes.
he would have got away with it if it wasn't for those meddling kids.
He looks like he's just walked out of an American Civil War reenactment, to be perfectly honest.
Or an American Psycho reenactment.
Well, put that back up for a minute, would you?
Not a problem.
Actually, I think I've just worked it out. Bring it back up. Yeah. You go first, Phil.
It looks to me like somebody who allegedly murdered somebody in Alabama.
Oh, yes. I would also say that looks like it's General Sherman from Timu.
Well, at least he doesn't park cars at a strip club in Georgia.
That's true. That is true.
Oh.
That we know of.
No,
Does anybody want to build a snowman?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Well played. Well played. That's the kind of shit that not even Judge Manning would want to deal with.
No.
No. And we all have a soft spot for Judge Manning.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Number 4 for Sht Towns of Australia. And we head off to my hometown of Sydney in New South Wales. But we've got a number of these, so it's a multi. First off, a psycho has been charged after allegedly running over and mutilating kangaroos. Oh my God, this is back off the back of the story we did last week of the guy who stacked kangaroo carcasses on the back of his car. Remember that one, NCR?
Yes.
Oh God, it's happening again. Then we've had cars vandalized with anti-Israel graffiti. We knew about that one there. We won't go too much into it. But our feature story tonight, 13 AFL players have been banned for dressing up as terrorists, slaves, and Jared Hayne. Oh, here we go. A total of 13 players have been sanctioned over their conduct at an end-of-season function last month. The AFL handed down the punishment, which comprises of suspensions and fines, on Thursday evening. What did they go dressed as? Well, here we go. 1 second, I don't actually want that playing in the background there. There we go. That's a lot better. You had Josh Fay dressed up as a former NRL player. We can confirm that former NRL player was Jared Hayne, a former rugby league star who was arrested and then released on appeal on rape charges. In the course of the skit, Faye simulated inappropriate acts on a sex doll. Riccardi was not involved in that part of the skit. Toby McMullen and Cooper Hamilton simulated the September 11 terrorist attack on the World Trade Center in costume related to that event. Harvey Thomas dressed as a particular professional sportsman and Joe Fonte as a girl acting inappropriately during their skit. Connor Uden and Lockie Whitfield enacted a scene from the movie Django Unchained characterizing slavery.
Again?
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
The suspensions that have been handed out. Josh Fay has been given a 4-match suspension. Jake Riccardi, 2 matches. Cooper Hamilton, 2 matches. Toby McMullen, 2 matches. Harvey Thomas, 2 matches. Joe Fonte, 2 matches. Connie Eden, $5,000. The rest of them got $5,000. Connor Eden, Lockie Whitfield, Toby Green, Sam Taylor, Tom Green, Harry Perryman, and Lockie Keefe. Wow.
I don't think y'all people should be watching Django Unchained. Y'all get some bad ideas.
Yeah.
Now, for those wondering what the tradition is, this is what we usually call Mad Monday. It's the Monday after the end of a long, grueling season where usually the players are allowed to let their hairs down a little bit. I think, Pope, this is probably going beyond the pale.
Yes, slightly. Now, here's what I want to know. The guy who was trying to do the 9/11, did he go dressed as ash or fire? I mean, how do you act that out? That's what I don't understand.
I believed he may have been dressed in a beard and some sort of long flowing gown, and saying that his name was either Al Qaeda or Terry Wrist.
Yeah, and with none of which would have been accurate, but okay, putting that aside.
Yeah.
Now,
So
now do these guys relax by going golfing? As
One
we
hopes.
segue
One
into Phil's
hopes.
next story.
One hopes because I have the appropriate punishment for them. Florida man arrested in alleged golf attack after forcibly holding victim underwater, according to police.
oh, that's a GTA story if I've ever heard one.
It just wait, it gets worse. Palm Beach Gardens police announced the arrest of a Florida man who beat another man with a golf club and then drowned him forcibly underwater. Now, just a side note in writing this. Drowned forcibly underwater. The underwater part you don't need.
Tautology.
How do you drown somebody not underwater? Like, okay. Anyway. Junior Butcher, of course, 36. I've been trying not to laugh this whole time because I read that ahead of time, and I'm like, you can't make this shit up. What is that? Loxahatchee? Well, how do you pronounce that, NCR?
1 second.
Loxahatchee.
I think it's Loxahatchee, yeah.
Loxahatchee. Okay. Was charged with first-degree murder in the death of 65-year-old Brian Heideville. Monday, police said Butcher attacked the man with the victim's golf clubs at the Sand Hill Crane Golf Club. By the way, they are offering steep discounts on 18 holes now. Located at the 1100,000 block of North Lakeland Boulevard before drowning him in a nearby pond. According to the arrest report obtained by WPTV, a witness told police a man was heard yelling and saw him retreating from Butcher, who was swinging a golf club at him. He reportedly screamed several times, "He's trying to kill me!" The report said both men fell to the ground and Butcher began chasing Heideville, repeatedly hitting him with the golf club. When they reached the pond, Butcher reportedly jumped on him and appeared to be choking him. The witness added that Butcher got off Heideville. He was no longer moving. Officers arrived around 1:30 p.m. to find Heideville's body next to the pond, or in the pond next to the hole number 1 on the golf course. He had suffered deep lacerations to the back of his head and was pronounced dead at the scene. The arrest report said Butcher, who was found unclothed, ran away and refused to stop entering murky waters. This prompted police to use electronic control weapon to take him into custody. So they tased him while he was in the water. That had to feel good.
Okay, so 50,000 volts times the doubling effect of water.
Yes,
So
as he's unclothed in water, getting tased. Yes,
It's super effective.
I bet. This appears to be a random act of violence, the police said during a press conference. At 12:30, roughly an hour before the fatal incident, Butcher was reported missing by the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. It was revealed that Butcher has had a lengthy criminal history involving drug possession, domestic battery, and fleeing and eluding police officers, among others. WPTV reported the judge denied Butcher bond on Tuesday before he claimed his name was actually Manuel Acosta Rodriguez. This remains an ongoing investigation.
There's been no sign of Jim Acosta either, I take it.
No, there was not. No sighting of Jim Acosta.
No, very good, very good. Moving on now to third place for the Shit Towns of Australia. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the medals at the moment, and we head off to Georgetown in Tasmania. And we've got two stories for you. First off, we've got a Gronk motorcyclist allegedly riding around one-handed while waving my gun.
Is he claiming his Second Amendment right to bear arms?
Well, it's Tasmania. They'll claim anything they want. So, but our main story tonight, it's another one involving firearms. So, yeah, R. Kelly will be coming in at some point and yelling out, "So I pulled out my gun." A man has been charged over a firearms incident at Georgetown yesterday. Police were called just before 1 p.m. Thursday after reports a firearm was allegedly discharged at a vehicle. A man who was inside the vehicle at the time was not physically injured. Police attended a Georgetown residence and a 20-year-old Georgetown man was arrested. During a subsequent search of their address, police located and seized a, ready for it ladies and gentlemen, homemade pistol, a second homemade firearm, firearm parts, ammunition. NCR, you can probably guess what's going to come next.
Hardcore nudity?
No. Quantities of methamphetamines.
Naturally.
The Georgetown man has been charged with multiple offences, including recklessly discharging a firearm, aggravated assault, reckless driving, driving unlicensed, minor drug offences, and multiple other firearms-related offences. He was detained to appear in Launceston Magistrates Court this morning. You know, this is another one that's just up there for GTA, but I'm tipping Jim that this guy probably belongs in GTA 5. What do you think? He could be a good replacement. He could be a good replacement for Trevor.
Yeah. Though my next one is going to go all the way to GTA number 1.
Ooh.
GTA number 1 as we move to number 2 in Florida.
The silver medalist.
As Pensacola man stabbed ex-wife's new husband on Thanksgiving morning. Now, if you remember GTA 1 was a top-down adventure where you moved your little guy around and drove in 2D, simulated 3D, but it was 2D. And you took on crowds of people, including psychotic people with knives. And this guy apparently was one of them, as a Pensacola man was arrested for stabbing his ex-wife's new husband on Thanksgiving morning. He was apparently living with his ex-wife as he was homeless, got upset, and decided to murder her new husband. The victim, later identified as Alan Bingham, was transported to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The biggest thing about this is the guy looks like, what's his name? Unchained Mind. Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind. Dead
Yes.
ringer for that guy.
Shall I bring the photo up?
Yes, you
Please.
should. It's the guy with the beard is the one I'm thinking of.
All right, give me 1 second.
I'm
not Jay
curious about
Cutler.
this. Very curious.
Yeah, Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind. That's who the guy reminds me of.
Well, I mean, it could be worse. It could be broken sphincter, busted teeth.
Now appearing at
Here we have
Publix.
This gentleman
There
right
you
here.
go. The guy on the right, yes.
Wow.
It does look like him.
Yes.
Pope, have you practiced religion with this fine specimen here?
No, but do believe he was a guest lecturer at a seminar I did attend on multicultural faith experiences.
Now, are we sure that's a cross, or is it just misshapen blunt?
Looks like a
Believe it-
cross and a heart.
I believe it is a cross made out of a misshapen blunt.
There you go.
Oh. Oh, actually, you know who he reminds me? You know who he looks like? It's a modern day Rasputin.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
Hide your queens, ladies and gentlemen. Rasputin is back.
Rah, Rasputin.
Oh,
And of
Russian
course, this
thing.
article was not complete without an advertisement for an article featuring former Chicago Bears, just for Gia, Vanderbilt University quarterback Jay Cutler, arrested in Tennessee. And of course, he looks like he started for the Bears for 10 years.
Suck it, Gia.
Suck it, Gia. Suck it.
Oh.
Well, it is appropriate that we're saying "suck it, Gia" because it is "suck it, Phil E."
Yes.
Yes, it is. It is.
Tomorrow night, instead of our 3 p.m. usual starting time, we're having Suck It Phil Monday. The fifth one out of 20 paid for by Gia at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 o'clock where it counts, 6 o'clock Mountain Time, and 5 o'clock on the West Coast. We may actually have a special guest tomorrow because it is the day before the Glenn Serio Sweep the Leg Challenge, where Touche and another YouTube user had put up $1,500 for known YouTuber Glenn Serio to try to sweep the leg out of under Touche. There has been no word from Glenn Serio if he'll take them up on the offer, but his next court date is on Tuesday, and that's where it's expected to go down.
It's going down.
Going down.
Wow.
Yes.
It's going
So,
downtown.
Caruso, would you try to sweep Touche's leg for $1,500 US?
Oh, you see, it's really tempting to do that. But no, I have to look after the knee pressure.
Is it high today?
It is very high today. Yeah, it is very high. Due to you know what it was in particular? We went to a baby shower yesterday, and they were serving biscotti cheesecake.
Okay.
Have you never
No,
had biscotti cheesecake?
Not cheesecake, but I know it's spaghetti is, but I don't know that I would have that as cheesecake though.
Yeah.
No,
How did it taste? How did it taste? Did you try it?
Yep, it was really nice. Biscotti and maple syrup.
Oh, well, the maple syrup, much like bacon, everything's better with maple syrup.
Yeah. Got to make sure you butter up that bacon.
But my heart hurts.
Bacon,
it would. It would.
That sausage.
Yes, it would. Yes, it would.
Bacon, that sausage. Oh, time for the Sht Towns of Australia silver medal. And NCR, we're going to one of your favorite locations. We're going to the Gold Coast.
Hold up.
No.
The city of...
No, we're off to the Gold Coast. Not that one just yet, but it is coming soon. First off, we've had a couple waiting 4 hours for cops to turn up after a house invaded by thugs with machete and a meat cleaver. We are going to go back to one of the stories that did come up because NCR, you remember how we were talking about certain OnlyFans models getting banned or kicked out of certain locations?
Yes.
It happened again. And ladies and gentlemen, and as an honorable mention for this one, we can confirm one of the models we were talking about who was doing her thing on the Gold Coast, British OnlyFans model Bonnie Blue, has not only had her visa torn up in Fiji, but she's also had it torn up in Australia after attempting to film herself having intercourse with 50 schoolies.
Oh, jeez.
Now, for the uninitiated, schoolies are essentially 18-year-olds.
18, 9, sometimes 19-year-olds, those who have just graduated from high school. They go to the Gold Coast, it gets wild.
Phil, I think you could save her. I think you could save her.
She could come and try a stint, at our convent.
But that is not the story we're going to be running here tonight. The story is there's a third story I should mention. A tower erected with clear windows on bathrooms so neighbors can see residents showering, shitting, and fucking. So, no tinting on the windows, so you can actually see straight in. But our main story is Butt Plug Bandits ram raid a sex shop.
Again. It's been 2 weeks.
Unfortunately, it is behind a paywall, this one, but we can confirm that 2 men have forced their way into a Gold Coast sex shop, taking thousands of dollars of stock with the same business targeted twice in a week in Bundall in the Gold Coast.
Oh, fucking do it again.
Oh, yeah, pretty much. It's the story is so shocking. It's left NCR in a coughing fit at the moment. But yeah, it is rumored as well that one of the sex toys appears to have been dropped and appears to be in a certain state of use.
Yeah.
Now, did they ask?
Fizz.
Did they ask the sex toy to show on the man where the man touched it?
I mean,
I think the brown staining would be would show that a little bit.
That's nasty.
Oh, let's go to the gold medal.
Phil, please read the gold medalist for the Florida men.
Oh, yes, Florida man and woman.
Oh.
2 Florida inmates, naturally, have a pregnancy they're calling a miracle baby, and the woman is comparing herself to the Virgin Mary. Now, this gets really good. In a story that seems straight out of a movie script, I would say a Hallmark movie, 2 Florida inmates have redefined the boundaries of connection and defied the odds to welcome a child into the world, despite having never met face to face. Daisy Lake and Yoann DePaz, 24, engineered an unconventional path, to say the least, to parenthood through the prison air vent system, sparking questions about love, ingenuity, and institutional oversight. The 2 inmates are at the Turner Guilford Night Correctional Center in Miami-Dade, where the improbable journey began. Both were in isolation, facing murder charges. Yes, that's the lovely couple there. Separated by floors within the facility. Yet the loneliness and desperation found an outlet through the air vents of their cells, where they began to communicate, as first reported by WSVN. You knock on the vent and you can hear people on different floors, Link explained. Being in isolation for so long, you start talking for hours and it feels like you're in the same room. Over time, their conversations evolved into romantic connection. I wonder if Chili had this happen to her.
Love, exciting and new.
DePaz shared his longing to become a parent, and he dreamed that though it was unattainable given the circumstances, again, remember he's in on murder charges. I've always wanted to have a baby, he said, and I told her if I had to choose somebody, it would be you. She was like, yeah, we could do that. Couple hatched a plan to make the impossible happen. Using bedding material, they created a makeshift line between their cells. DePaz began sending packages containing his semen wrapped in saran wrap through the vent system. You can't make this shit up. He described the process as meticulous. I would put semen in saran wrap every day, like 5 times a day, man, for a month straight. Link, on her part, used a yeast infection applicator to administer the samples. Despite the inherited challenges and low success rate of such an unconventional method, their determination paid off, and after several attempts, Link became pregnant. She's a miracle baby, Link said of her daughter, who was born June 19th at Jackson Memorial Hospital. I think everything happened for a reason. No shit. The two of you planned did a course of action to try to get you pregnant, and you became pregnant, and you think everything happens for a reason.
Now,
God.
hold on.
Huh?
We got to ask the man on the street here what's going on.
It's just not right. It's really eerie here. Something's fucky.
Exactly. The Virgin Mary. Uh-huh.
Right.
The story is well, let's carry on here for a minute because here's the medical perspective of this. The story has captured public fascination, and not at least because of its biological improbability. Dr. Ackerman, a fertility specialist at the Fertility Center of Miami, explained that while the chances of pregnancy under such circumstances are slim, they are not impossible. Well, no shit, doctor. We estimated that their chances were less than 5%. This is exceedingly unusual. To my knowledge, I've never heard of or read anything like this. The baby's girl, described by both parents as a blessing, is now being raised by DePaz's mother. Link and DePaz, held in separate facilities, maintain contact through phone calls and video visits where they share glimpses of their daughter's lives. She could be anything, Link said. I think she's going to be somewhere great or something great. DePaz, too, maintains astonished at their achievement. Over here, I'm like a celebrity, he remarked, referencing the media attention the story has garnered. The extraordinary circumstances surrounding the baby's conception have raised serious questions about the security protocols at the facility. An internal investigation by the Miami-Dade Corrections is ongoing, with officials yet to disclose how such a scenario could unfold undetected. The incidents also reignited discussions about the conditions in which inmates are held, particularly the isolation that spurred Link and DePaz to force their connection through unconventional means. For Link and DePaz, their story is one of resilience and hope in the face of unimaginable odds. While their fortunes remain uncertain as they await trial for their respective charges, which again are murder, they hold on to the belief that their daughter is destined for greatness. I can't believe it. Yeah, greatness. I can't believe it worked, Link said. She's a miracle baby. DePaz echoed her sentiment, saying, not gonna lie, this is gonna go down in history.
Don't forget, folks, the Miami-Dade County birthing centers, or in this case, insemination centers, can be found at the finest of jail locations.
Yes.
Remember, folks, to spay and neuter your inmates before.
Oh dear, my head is exploding from that right now.
Now it does bring to mind, however, she would be the perfect person for someone who likes to think that they're close to somebody famous, likes to liken himself to Rosa Parks.
Oh God!
I mean, she is the Virgin Mary after all.
Yeah.
Shall we move on?
Yes, please.
Let's please.
Please bring us home a better story than that.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am gonna bring us something better because we are gonna go down to NCR's favorite city.
The city of Townsville is under attack.
We have got multiple stories coming out of Townsville this week, NCR, and I reckon you are rock hard right now at that news.
Oh, I am.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. First off, the local mayor has been formally sacked from his position and he's now been paid $225,000 to take a year off. That's story number one. Geez, I'd love to do a shit job and be able to get paid $225,000 to go away for a year. That
I
wouldn't
think
be bad.
all of us would.
Next off, some Gronks steal a gun and ammunition from an unmarked cop car. A 13-year-old has been caught breaking into a home while armed with a replica AK-47 and a knife. A silly pest whips out his willy on the Strand and tries to hijack an elderly woman's car. A cop has been allegedly caught drink driving while on duty and has had his charges dropped. I mean, that's questionable, but our story, if you thought that wasn't enough, a shopkeeper screams anti-Semitic abuse at Israeli backpackers.
Wow.
And this gets nasty. Footage shows a woman unidentified swearing at two tourists outside a shop in Townsville on Saturday morning. The tourists aged in their 20s have been browsing when they spotted a donation sign for Palestine displayed near the counter. The shopkeeper allegedly became enraged when the tourist recommended she verify where the donations were being directed. Get the F out of my store. I don't give an F about Israel, but I do care about the fact that you're a dirty, filthy effing Jew, the woman who was dressed in black said while holding the shovel, as shown in video footage taken by one of the tourists. You want to listen to what I have to say? No, F off. Oh boy, and there is a video available. I could play this right now, but it's interesting to say the very least. And I can confirm she's armed with a shovel.
I think if we play that video, we're gonna get demonetized. So
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it. Let's not play it. But I think it's really cute that she's armed with a shovel of all things.
Well, she dug her own grave.
Here we go. I've even got here we go. I've even got a photo of it. Here is our angry shopkeeper, dressed all in black, armed with a shovel.
She's just getting ready to play Extreme Knifey Spoon.
Yeah.
Again, are you sure this isn't someone who works at a strip club in Georgia? The boobs look exactly the same.
Or probably vacuums. Probably vacuums.
Oh, probably. But that just gives me vibes of mess with the honk, you get the bonk. I reckon there's been some blunt force trauma dealt with by that shovel. I'm not sure though if it's meant for its intended purposes. But anyway. So yeah, Townsville this week. A lot of fun, NCR. They were busy up there.
They were.
And that brings us to an end for the power rankings. I have to admit, I am conceding the MVP to your Florida man and woman inmate couple with their take on the Immaculate Conception. I think that was just
truly awe-inspiring. Truly awe-inspiring. Truly awe-inspiring.
Absolutely. I do want to apologize for the performance of Australia because it's quite clear that we can't keep our dick in our pants and we can't stop stealing copper.
Again, we had an American that's very well known to us go to Australia, and now y'all a bunch of randy bastards.
That's right. It's all her fault.
Yes.
All her fault. All her fault.
All her fault. Which means we're going to have to play her ad up next time she's on here.
Oh, yes.
So, well, ladies and gentlemen, that is full time here on the Crap Towns of Australia, Florida Man podcast. Make sure you leave your comments in the sections below. Give us your thoughts on not only the MVP, but also the winner of the Golden Turd, who gets themselves a free tour of Woody's Woodchipper Emporium.
Don't forget to also check out Really Cool News YouTube channel, where they do daily, well, I shouldn't say daily, but Monday through Saturday live streams of the Drunk Girl Theater, where you will find Pope Phil II and Jim Finch and myself there having fun while they torture me with drunk girls to be my future mistress.
Oh, we
Wife.
got a good one for tomorrow.
And one night.
Why?
Wife and
Why?
one night stand.
She's
Well,
a redhead with an attitude.
Ooh.
Well, isn't that most of them?
Just you wait. Tomorrow.
And on that note, folks, I am NCR News Network.
I'm Anthony Caruso, and I'm going to give a quick plug as well to our two special guests if you want to sign yourselves off.
Oh, that's us.
Yeah. Is this thing on?
Reallycoolsite.org, reallycoolsite.org for the newspaper, and then youtube.com/reallycoolnews for our YouTube channel. If you subscribe today, you could be taking Parsons home in his own puffy jacket. That's right, folks. It's a 2-for-1 special on Parsons this week.
And we do have one other way to watch Really Cool News on WFYC 99.9 on YouTube.
And we validate your parking.
Unlike a certain strip club in Atlanta. Watch your pennies is all I'm saying.
That's right. At least we can guarantee you'll get your car back and it won't be sticky.
You might be missing your change, though.
Yes.
And on that note, be well, be safe, and we will see you guys next time.